The construction activity happening at the oil fields of Tilenga and Kingfisher demonstrate the readiness of a country nearing takeoff of commercial oil production. The spectacular view of oil region with new supporting infrastructure has not only seen development of this part of the world, but also seen opportunities won by local and international companies in form of juicy contracts. Over 25% of contracts, worth an estimated $1.7 billion, have so far been given to local players in alignment with the National Content Clause. By any measure, this is an enviable achievement for the country. But we ask, who are the real natural persons on whose behalf these transactions have been conducted? Who are the people that smile their way to the bank to pick the sums of money embedded in these contracts? In short, who are the beneficial owners in the oil and gas space? To answer these questions, we examine the legal framework around beneficial ownership. The main law that provides for beneficial ownership in Uganda is the Anti-Money Laundering Act of 2023 as amended in 2022 by the Parliament of Uganda. The law, among others, requires the companies to identify and maintain accurate records of their beneficial owners and to submit this information to the government. These records are stored by the Uganda Registration Services Bureau in the Beneficial Ownership Registry.
So we do that mandate as accountable person as per the Anti-Money Laundering Act. And as the Bureau we have put a compliance check. Before you file any document, a company document, you first have to update. Automatically that calls for filing beneficial ownership information. So I'm saying we are trying to comply by that, but so I cannot exactly give you a number that now this percentage, I cannot commit on the percentage.
In 2022, a number of amendments were made to a number of laws to strengthen implementation of beneficial ownership requirements. These include the Companies Act 2022, Partnerships Amendment Act 2022, Cooperative Societies Amendment Act 2022, Trustees Incorporation Act 2022, and the Income Tax Amendment Act of 2022. Siraje Magara, the manager extractives at Oxfam Uganda, says that the legal framework is sufficient.
And also it is important to sensitize and educate some of these companies that are supposed to compile this information with the DRISB so that they are in the know, because you will find that some companies are actually not aware of what they are supposed to do, when they are, which kind of information they are supposed to compile with the URISB, and even getting the reason as to why they should be able to do that. So I think we need more sensitization, we need more discussion with the different players, and then we should be able to see improvement.
His thoughts align with those of the Deputy Executive Director at the Advocates Coalition for Development and Environment Accord, Onesmus Mujenyi.
And you know that the country has been in the process of developing the laws on beneficial ownership information disclosure, but also regulations. And civil society has been participating and has a role in informing these laws and policies.
These both emphasize the need to have beneficial ownership laws implemented and followed to the latter.
Oil here in Uganda is being exploited and developed under production sharing agreement, where we benefit from what we call the profit oil. So if you have a company that is trading with itself, they are likely to increase or to inflate the costs, and at the end of the day you find that the country is not able to benefit from the oil.
Beneficial ownership is very, very important because first of all you get to know the tax identification number of such beneficial owner and the company, and then you follow up and see whether they are contributing their fair share of the tax to ensure that whatever tax obligation they have, they are able to commit and pay, so that we improve our revenues, especially from the oil and the gas.
So to avoid trading with the individuals who have been embargoed or who have been blacklisted, then you need to know who is behind the company that actually you are trading with.
Non-compliance with beneficial ownership laws results into a number of penalties. For example, failure to keep a register by a beneficial owner results into a daily default fine of 25 currency points, approximately 500,000 Uganda shillings. Failure to notify the register of companies of any changes in the beneficial owners or place where the register is kept attracts a daily fine of 25 currency points, while making false statements attracts a daily default fine of 500,000 shillings.
We urge Ugandans to comply on time. Not like they shouldn't lag, they shouldn't take their time, but they should do it as soon as yesterday.
Civil society champions hope that other issues can be resolved by government to ensure that the oil and gas sector brings the required returns to the country.
Correlation of data, collection, sharing, and correlation of the data and coordination of these institutions is where we still have a weakness, but if the coordination could be improved so that all the agencies involved, URSB, the Financial Intelligence Authority, the banking institutions, then would do well.
But one thing where we have failed is the issue of contract disclosure. You are aware that we have had the second report without contracts being disclosed by government and the international oil companies, and that really undermines the benefits of the EITI.
With the clock fast ticking towards 2025, the quest for sustainability and accountability in the oil and gas sector continues.